You don't need to be perfect, just better than yesterday. That's it. That's the rule most people ignore because it sounds too simple, too small, too slow. But understand this, massive transformation is never built in one moment. It's built in thousands of small decisions repeated daily. The problem is people chase big results with inconsistent effort. They want overnight success with habits they only practice occasionally. And when it doesn't work, they quit. Not because they're incapable, but because they underestimated the power of small improvements. 1% better every day doesn't look impressive. It doesn't feel powerful. It doesn't get applause, but it compounds quietly, consistently, relentlessly. 1% becomes 2, 2 becomes 5, 5 becomes 10. And before you realize it, you are no longer the same person. That's how change really happens. Not through intensity, but through consistency. Not through motivation, but through discipline. Most people fail because they aim too high, too fast. They try to change everything at once. Wake up at 5 a.m., work out every day, cut all distractions, become perfect overnight. And when they can't sustain it, they fall back to 0. But the 1% rule is different. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing something. Something small, something intentional, something repeatable. Because small actions done daily will always outperform big actions done occasionally. Think about it. 1 extra hour of focus, 1 less distraction, 1 better decision, 1 more rep, 1 more page, 1 more step forward. It seems insignificant in the moment, but over time, it becomes unstoppable momentum. And momentum is what changes lives, because once you start moving forward consistently, stopping becomes harder than continuing. Here's the truth. You don't need a complete life overhaul. You need control over your daily habits, because your habits shape your actions shape your identity, and your identity shapes your future. So if you change your habits, even slightly, you begin to change everything. That's the power of 1%. But this requires patience, and patience is something most people lack. They want results now, they want proof now, they want success now. But growth doesn't work like that. Growth is silent. Progress is invisible at first. You won't see the change immediately. You won't feel the transformation right away. And that's where most people give up, because they think nothing is happening. But something is always happening. Every day you show up, even when it feels small, you are building something. You are reinforcing a new identity. You are proving to yourself that you are consistent, that you are disciplined, that you are different. And those small wins start to stack. They build confidence, they build belief, they build strength, until one day, what felt difficult becomes normal, and what felt impossible becomes your standard. And here's the shift you need to understand. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be consistent. Perfection creates pressure. Consistency creates progress. Perfection makes you hesitate. Consistency makes you move. So stop chasing perfect days and start building consistent ones. Because a consistent and perfect effort will always beat a perfect effort that never happens. There will be days you don't feel like it. Days you're tired, distracted, unmotivated. That's where the 1% rule becomes powerful. Because on those days, you don't need to do everything. You just need to do something. Lower the intensity, but never lower the standard. Show up in any way you can. Because showing up maintains the habit, and maintaining the habit maintains the identity. This is how discipline is built. Not in big moments, but in small decisions. choosing to act when it's easier not to, choosing to continue when it's easier to stop, choosing to improve, even slightly, every single day. That's what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for a complete transformation. It doesn't work like that. You build the transformation step by step, decision by decision, day by day, 1% at a time. And if you commit to that, if you truly commit to being just a little better every day, your life will change in ways you can't even imagine right now. Not instantly, not dramatically, but inevitably, because small, consistent actions, repeated over time, create unstoppable results. So start today, not with everything, but with something, one action, one improvement, one step forward, and then repeat it tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. Because success is not about doing more. It's about doing better. Consistently. You don't need to be perfect, just better than yesterday. And if you live by that, day after day, step after step, you won't just improve, you will transform.